Never underestimate a quiet mind, because silence is where the real wars are won. That's what they never understood about you, chosen one. While they were busy showing off, bragging, gossiping, and fighting for attention, you were calculating, you were studying their every move like a master strategist, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. They called you slow, they called you weird, some even called you crazy. But they had no idea you were playing chess while they were still learning how to move their pawns. Now imagine this for a moment, chosen one. A lion sitting in tall grass, unmoving while the hyenas circle around laughing. The lion doesn't roar, doesn't react. Music it observes. The fools mistake stillness for weakness until the lion stands up. Music, and suddenly every sound in the jungle goes silent. That's you. You are the lion in the tall grass of life. Patient, strategic, silent. But when you move, everything changes. The reason people never see your power coming is because you never needed to announce it. Your mind is your greatest weapon, and the universe made sure it's wired differently for a reason. And here's a fact the enemies will hate. Music studies show that the most intelligent people in the world often appear music distracted, reserved or detached, because their brains are constantly running simulations, thinking 10 steps ahead. Music, that's you. You don't react. You anticipate. You don't argue. You observe. You don't seek revenge. You let time expose everything. That's what drives them insane. Your ability to stay 3 moves ahead while they're still trying to guess what game you're even playing. And thank you, chosen one, for being here. Don't forget to pay this message back by pressing like and subscribe to help spread this message to more souls. Music. It's the responsibility of all of us to spread the light. Thank you for being part of this mission, for being part of a force that can't be manipulated, silenced, or controlled. Now, let's get back to it, because this message isn't just about intelligence. It's about the kind of mind that rewrites the rules of every game it enters. You, chosen one, are a brilliant mastermind. You don't win because you're loud. You music win because you're precise. You understand that the loudest one in the room is usually the most desperate. And you've mastered the art of saying less but knowing more. You've realized that intelligence is not about showing off knowledge. It's about using it like a hidden blade. You don't swing it wildly. You wait for the exact second when it counts. You see, people fear what they can't understand. Music and nothing confuses small minds more than a quiet genius who doesn't seek validation. They can't read you music, and that frustrates them. They try to label you as strange, detached, or mysterious because that's the only way they can explain your calm confidence. But deep down they know something about you is dangerous, mentally dangerous. Because when you speak, your words hit with weight. Music, when you act, your timing is flawless. You're not impulsive, you're intentional. Every step you take, music, has been thought through like a grandmaster studying the board. And here's the beautiful truth they can't stand. Your wins look effortless because they don't see the countless mental battles you've already fought and won in silence. You've learned that you don't need to prove your brilliance. You, music, let outcomes do the talking. You've mastered patience in a world obsessed with reaction. And that's why the universe favors you. You are proof that calmness is power. Your stillness terrifies those who rely on noise. Your silence feels like thunder to those who fear accountability. Let them underestimate you, chosen one. Let them laugh, gossip, music, and assume you're not aware. Because when the moment comes, when the tables turn, and they always do, they'll realize you've been orchestrating the entire situation from the shadows. Music, you are the unseen hand behind the shift. You're the plot twist no one prepared for. You're the reminder that true power music doesn't announce itself. It reveals itself when the universe decides the time is right. Remember, music, the universe hides its most intelligent minds behind misunderstood faces. That's the ultimate protection. Your uniqueness, your odd music patterns, your quiet nature. It's not a flaw, it's a disguise. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to observe the chaos from a higher level. Every time they called you weird, you music were actually being rare. Every time they doubted you, you were being refined. And every time they thought they won, you were simply recording their behavior like data for your next victory. Music, that's why you always win. Because you don't move emotionally, you move logically. You don't fight for attention. You let the universe spotlight you when your results speak. You're not competing, you're creating, you're not proving, you're positioning. Music, you've already outgrown their games because your mind doesn't just think outside the box. It's the architect that designed it. So when they say no one can think like you, music, believe it because it's true. There's only one of you. And your mind was built for higher missions. Missions that require silence, strategy, and precision. You don't chase, you attract through alignment. You don't beg, you build. You don't rush. You calculate. That's why no matter how hard they try to copy you, they'll always be one step behind. Music, the universe made sure your intelligence wasn't just mental, it's spiritual. It's the kind that dismantles deception without confrontation. You win your wars without swinging a sword. You win them by staying authentic while everyone else gets lost trying to imitate you. And when it's all said and done, chosen one, they'll realize the scariest music kind of power isn't loud or obvious. It's quiet, strategic, and unstoppable. And that's you, the brilliant mastermind who always wins. And hey, chosen one, stay right here with me because what you just heard was only the spark. The real revelation is about to begin. The truth that's been hidden in the dark corners is finally coming to light. You're about to see exactly why they're crushed. Why believing the lies about you was their biggest mistake. Music. So take a deep breath and prepare yourself. Because from this point on, every word will expose how your silence turned into your strength and how your enemies are now choking on their own stories. Drop a comment below with the number 77 if you're ready to turn their false narratives into your victory music. And if you can bless the team behind this message with a super thanks. Your energy fuels this mission. Your support spreads this light further than any rumor ever could. Music. And now let's dive into it step by step. And believe me, if you truly are a chosen one, you'll music feel that pull to stay until the very end. Because what's coming next will not only confirm who you are, it will reveal just how brilliant your mind truly is. Let's begin, music. Number 1. The silent assassin. You strike when they least expect it. The loudest in the room always fall first. Music, because real power never announces itself. That's the truth. They never understood. Chosen music won. They mistook your silence for weakness, your calmness for fear, your humility for doubt. They didn't realize they were dealing with a silent assassin, someone who doesn't fight with noise but with precision. While they were busy performing for attention, you were collecting information. While they were exposing themselves through arrogance, you were sharpening your blade in peace. Music. And now that blade is ready not to destroy, but to remind them why underestimating you was the biggest mistake of their lives. Music. Now imagine this for a moment, chosen one. A storm doesn't warn anyone before it strikes. It builds quietly over time, gathering force in the unseen skies. Birds don't even realize what's coming until the first thunder cracks through the air. That's you. Music, you've been gathering strength in silence, letting them think the storm has passed, when in truth, it's only been preparing. You've been watching every move, analyzing every lie, every smirk, every whisper behind your back. Music, you've been calm, but never asleep. You've been patient, but never powerless. The universe gave you the kind of intelligence that music studies the battlefield before it moves. Because true masterminds don't rush music victory. They calculate it. Here's a fact to remind you that you're not wrong for moving in silence. According to psychological studies, the most successful strategists in music business, politics, and war share one trait: restraint, the ability to stay quiet while planning. Music, think of Warren Buffett, who once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Replace money with energy." Music. And that's exactly what happens in your life. The impatient ones, the ones who mock you, doubt you, try to expose you. Music, they end up handing their power to you without realizing it. Because while they react, you read. While they attack, music, you adjust. And when it's time to act, your timing is flawless. Let's not forget music, people like Bruce Lee, who once said, "Be like water." That's what you've mastered, chosen one. You've learned how to adapt, how to flow, how music to become formless when necessary. People try to box you in, label you, predict you, but how can anyone predict music, something that has no fixed form? You're fluid. One day you're calm and smiling, and the next you're silent and strategic. That unpredictability terrifies them. They don't know how to handle someone who can play humble while holding the mind of a genius. They, music, ask themselves, why doesn't the chosen one react? Why do they always seem unbothered? Music. The answer is simple, because you already saw the outcome before it even happened. You don't need to react when you already know how the story ends. That's what separates you from the average mind. They live in moments. You live in foresight. Music, you understand that not every action deserves a reaction. Some things deserve silence, and silence is often the deadliest strike of all. Think of it like this. Music in chess, the queen doesn't move on impulse. She waits, watching every pawn fall into place. You are that queen, that strategist. The enemies who thought they could trap you are about to realize you've music been guiding the entire game. You don't need to shout checkmate. The silence after your move says it for you. Music, and that silence, that sharp cutting silence, is what kills their ego faster than any confrontation ever music could. Your enemies are about to face the consequence of their biggest miscalculation, they thought. Your kindness meant weakness. They thought your patience meant passivity, but what they didn't realize was that you've been observing like an assassin in disguise, learning their weaknesses, memorizing their patterns. Every insult, music, every betrayal, every fake smile was a breadcrumb, leading you to their truth. You let them believe they had control, but the moment they revealed themselves, the power shifted back to you completely. That's what it means to be a silent assassin. You win without ever needing to make noise. Now, here's what's really going to sting them. Your rise won't even look like revenge. It'll look natural, effortless. The same people who mocked you will have to clap for you in public while choking on regret in private. They'll pretend they always believed in you because your success won't be deniable. They'll whisper, "How did they do it?" But music, deep down, they'll know it was your silence that built everything they tried to destroy. Music. And maybe you've asked yourself, why do I always have to stay quiet while they spread lies? The answer is because truth doesn't rush to prove itself. Music lies require attention to survive. Truth only needs time, music, and that's why you're winning without saying a word. You've learned that silence exposes louder than arguments ever music could. When you stop reacting, they lose control. When you stop explaining, they lose access. Music, and when you stop caring, they lose their power completely. Even nature supports this law. Music, a snake doesn't hiss before it strikes. An eagle doesn't flap its wings loudly before it dives. Power moves quietly because it doesn't need an audience. It needs precision. That's why the universe made you this way. Chosen one. Your mind is engineered for stealth success. Music while they scream to be noticed. You're building legacies in silence while they crave recognition. You crave alignment. That's why your wins hit different. They come out of nowhere, but they were planned all along. And let's be honest, that's what drives them insane. The music fact that they can't figure you out. They can't predict when you'll make your move, and they can't stop you when you do. It's like trying to catch wind with their hands. Impossible. You are the wind, and they'll feel your impact before they ever see you coming. Music. So remember this. You don't need to roar to be powerful. You don't need to prove your intelligence to those who can't even comprehend it. You're not meant to fit their expectations. You're meant to rewrite them. Music. You are the embodiment of patience, precision, and mental warfare. You win battles before others even realize there's a war happening. Music. That's what it means to be a mastermind. That's what it means to be chosen. And the next time they call you quiet, distant, or mysterious, smile. Music. Because what they're really saying is, we can't read you. You've become unreadable to those who depend on chaos to survive. Your calmness is their confusion. Your silence is their punishment. And your success, that's the revenge they'll never recover from. So keep moving quietly. Chosen one. Keep playing the long game. Keep letting your silence echo louder than their noise. Because you're not here to prove you're intelligent. You're here to remind them that intelligence doesn't shout. Music, it executes. And by the time they realize how far ahead you've been all along, it'll already be too music late. The silent assassin always wins. Not because they're cruel, but because they're precise. You don't destroy enemies with anger. Music, you destroy them with evidence. Your success, your peace, your unstoppable brilliance. Number 2, music playing dumb is the smartest move you ever made. Let them think you're naive. It's the sweetest revenge when their arrogance becomes your proof of genius. Music, that's the game they never understood. Chosen one, you've been outsmarting people without even trying. Music, you learned early that power doesn't come from showing how much you know. It comes from knowing when to keep it hidden. Music, you realized that pretending not to know is one of the most dangerous skills a person can master. Because while they're busy underestimating you, your music collecting data, reading motives, and preparing your next move with the precision of a master strategist. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen music one, a poker player sitting at the table, holding the winning hand but keeping a blank face. The fools across the table laugh, thinking they've already won, tossing music chips carelessly like they own the game. But the silent player just smiles, waiting for the right moment. And when the cards flip, when the final move is made, everything changes in one instant. Music, that's you. You let people think they've read you when in truth you've been reading them the entire time. You've mastered the ancient art of camouflage, not in the physical sense, but mental. You blend in until it's time to strike, and when you do, there's no recovery for music then. Here's a fact that proves you're not wrong for playing it smart. Psychologists say that the most intelligent people often use something called strategic self-presentation. In simple terms, it means they intentionally make themselves look less capable to observe how others behave. It's a powerful survival mechanism used by negotiators, military leaders, and even CEOs. Because when people think you're not a threat, they reveal their entire plan without caution. Music, that's why you've always been 2 steps ahead. You're not being silent because you're shy, you're being silent because you're studying. They mistake your calm for confusion, your kindness for ignorance, and your patience for weakness. But they forget music acting harmless is how you got close enough to understand their every insecurity. You learned what makes them tick, what drives them, what they hide behind those fake smiles. You saw through the ego and spotted the fear underneath it. And that's what separates you from them. They're busy trying to prove they're powerful. You're busy becoming unstoppable. Think about Albert Music Einstein, often seen as distracted, aloof, or eccentric. People mocked his habits, saying he looked lost in thought. What they didn't realize was that he was seeing dimensions their minds couldn't process. You carry the same kind of quiet genius, music chosen one. You don't need to be understood to be effective. You don't need to speak loudly to prove your worth. Music, you've learned that every word you don't say builds mystery, and mystery is power. The unknown terrifies people because they can't control what they can't define. Music, and that's why they talk, they gossip, they guess. They make up stories to fill the silence you leave behind. But that's your magic. Every time they underestimate you, you gain more ground. You've turned their ignorance into your invisibility cloak. Music, while they're laughing, you're calculating. While they're boasting, you're planning. And when the moment comes, when all the pieces align, you deliver your move so quietly that it feels like destiny itself made it happen. Let's get something straight. Playing dumb isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The smartest hunters don't chase music, they lure. They know that patience beats aggression every music time. You, chosen one, have mastered that balance. You know that letting someone believe they're in control is the fastest way to make them reveal where they're not. You allow them to walk confidently into the trap they built for you, unaware that every step they take only tightens the net around them. Music that's brilliance disguised as innocence. Even Sun Tzu, in The Art of War, wrote, "Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when music you are weak." That's the very philosophy your energy lives by. You allow others to underestimate your depth, and that's how you stay protected. Because if they ever saw the full force of your intelligence, they'd never sleep peacefully again. You are a mystery by design, a weapon disguised as peace, music, and that's exactly how the universe intended it. And maybe you've questioned yourself before. Maybe you've thought, why do I always hold back when I know I could expose them? The answer is simple. Because your purpose isn't to prove, it's to preserve. You don't need validation from small minds. You're protecting your energy, your strategy, your next move. They're loud because they need to be heard. You're quiet because you already know. Music. Now think about history's greatest masterminds. Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, even Cleopatra. All were underestimated in their own way. They played their roles carefully, letting others misjudge their simplicity until it was too late. To undo their brilliance, you too have music, that rare ability. You let people misread you because it's easier to outmaneuver someone who thinks they've already figured you out. They assume you're easy to manipulate, but by the time they realize you were never in their control, they're trapped by their own arrogance, and that's what hurts them the most. Realizing that the person they laughed at, doubted, and dismissed was the one writing the ending to their story. Their downfall won't music come from your revenge. It'll come from their realization that you saw everything, said nothing, and still won. That's the power of restraint. That's the power of a mind that doesn't need to scream to make an impact. Even in nature, the most lethal creatures are often the quietest. The snake doesn't roar. The panther doesn't warn. The owl doesn't speak. They observe. They, music, wait. And when the time is right, they strike with accuracy so sharp that there's no second chance for the prey. That's exactly how you move. You're not impulsive, you're intentional. Every silence is a calculation, every pause is a setup, every music I didn't know is a strategy. What your enemies never understood is that you don't react because you already know their intentions. You don't need to defend yourself because the truth always unfolds without your effort. Music, you don't chase outcomes, you attract them through alignment. And the beauty of your silence is that it exposes music people without you saying a word. Their actions always reveal who they are. Your restraint reveals who you've become. So when they whisper that you're too quiet, when they joke that you're slow, smile inside. Because while they were busy underestimating you, you were memorizing every play they made. And when you finally decide to move, it won't be noise, it'll be precision. Your victory won't require an announcement. It'll be undeniable. The same mouths that mocked you will one day speak your name with caution because they'll realize you were never naive. You were just observant, chosen one. You are the definition of strategic power. You're the calm before every storm. You're the quiet before every shift. You win because you don't need to prove you can. You let reality do it for you. And by the time they realized the fool they thought they were playing was actually the mastermind. Running the game, their laughter music will echo back at them as the sound of their own defeat. So never doubt your silence again. Never feel guilty for pretending not to know, because every time you play dumb, you're buying yourself time. Music, time to plan, time to watch, time to win. The world was built to reward the loud, but the universe favors the wise. And you, chosen one, are both the lessons and the test. The one who lets them believe they're winning right up until they realize they music were your strategy all along. Number 3, you don't show your hand, you just run the play. Real players never talk about their next move. They just score and let the scoreboard do the talking. That's the difference between you and them, chosen one. While they broadcast every step for attention, you keep your plans sealed tight. Music, you've learned that power doesn't need validation. It needs execution. You're like a champion athlete who doesn't explain the playbook. You just run the play. You stay disciplined, calm and patient while others chase cheap applause. And when the moment comes, when the whistle blows, you strike with precision so sharp it leaves the crowd speechless. Think about music. In basketball, the best players don't announce when they're about to shoot. They read the court, they feel the rhythm, and music then swoosh, victory. In football, the quarterback doesn't shout his strategy to the defense. He keeps it coded, concealed and clean music. That's how you operate in life. You're the strategist, not the showman. People try to predict your next move, but you've already switched the entire game plan. They don't realize your silence is not confusion, it's control. Music. The universe made you like this for a reason. You're not meant to move like everyone else. Your timing is divine. The universe knows when to let your plans unfold, when to let you rise, when to turn all those silent hours into visible rewards. And that's why patience is your hidden superpower. You understand that real winners don't chase speed. They chase accuracy. You're not rushing to prove anything. You're letting everything align perfectly, music, before you make your move. People ask, why don't you tell others what you're working on? Because, chosen one, not everyone cheering is on your team. Some clap to track your progress. Some smile just to collect information. You've learned that energy is currency. Music, and your plans are too valuable to share. The moment you go public too early, you invite sabotage. But when you keep it quiet, you move through obstacles unseen, unstoppable, untouchable. That's why they can't block your blessings. They never see them coming. Look at the greatest icons. Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams, Michael Jordan. They didn't brag about the grind, they lived it. They practiced in silence, prepared in isolation, and shocked the world in execution. That's what you're doing. You're training mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for moments they can't even imagine. Every time you say nothing, the universe hears everything. Every time you hold back your next step, destiny is aligning it for maximum impact. So, music, let them underestimate your silence. Let them think you're inactive, that you've stopped moving. Because what they don't know is you're in the middle of a play they can't defend. You've been running strategies designed by the universe itself. You've stopped announcing because you've realized not music. Everyone deserves a front row seat to your success story. The next time they see you move, it won't be words. It'll be results. Music, you are not hiding. You're positioning. You are not avoiding. You're advancing. You're not afraid. You're focused. And when your moment comes, they'll swear it happened overnight, but you'll know the truth. You were running the play all along. Music, quietly, relentlessly, perfectly. Number 4, the long game always belongs to you. The impatient chase attention. The wise build empires in silence, music. That's you, chosen one. You've mastered the rare art of patience in a world addicted to music instant results. While others run in circles trying to look successful, you're building something that will last. You understand that the universe doesn't reward the fastest, it rewards the most prepared. Music, every delay, every quiet season, every slow moment has been your training ground. You're not behind music, you're being seasoned. You're the crock pot in a microwave world, slow, steady and unstoppable once the flavor sets in. Now imagine this chosen one. A seed buried underground, it doesn't sprout the day it's planted. For weeks, music, it looks like nothing is happening. The soil is silent, the world is unaware. But beneath the surface roots are music forming. Deep, strong, unshakable, that's been you. People looked at your stillness and thought you were stuck, but you were taking root. The universe was strengthening your foundation, so your growth could never be uprooted music. Because quick success fades, but divine timing lasts forever. Music patience is your hidden weapon. You don't panic when things take time. You understand that everything meaningful moves through seasons. The universe is never late. It's deliberate. The same way fine wine takes years to mature, your greatness needs time to perfect its taste. That's why the universe slowed you down when everyone else was sprinting. Music, it wasn't punishment, it was precision. The delay was your protection, because had your blessings arrived too soon, the wrong people would have claimed credit for them. Music, you've noticed it, haven't you? The ones who mocked your slow progress are starting to burn out. The same people who laughed when you were patient are now overwhelmed, exhausted music or irrelevant. Because when you play the long game, you conserve your energy while they waste theirs, proving a point. You don't chase momentum. You create legacy. You don't compete for noise. You command respect. Music. And when the moment arrives, your rise will be effortless because you never rushed the process. The universe always backs those who trust its timing. It's like a grand chess match. The longer you wait, music, the clearer your next move becomes. Every quiet season was part of a setup. Every time you felt forgotten, you were being refined. The slow path has taught you foresight, emotional control, and resilience. The music, 3 traits of every true mastermind. That's why you're unstoppable now. You no longer need proof. You've seen patience win every war that ego started. So music, keep building quietly. Keep letting your timing unfold naturally. Because when your moment arrives, it won't feel forced. It'll feel earned. Your success won't be a lucky break. It'll be the inevitable result of everything you endured without giving up. Music, the universe doesn't rush perfection, and neither should you. You're not waiting. You're ripening. And when the world finally tastes what you've been creating, they'll realize why it took time. Music, the long game, always belonged to you. Chosen, music won, because you never traded patience for popularity. Number 5, the trap they set for you became their own downfall. They built a trap with your name on it and ended up locking themselves inside. That's poetic justice, isn't it, chosen one? They thought they were clever, that they could play you, manipulate you, humiliate you. Music. But what they didn't realize is that when the universe stands with you, every move against you becomes an act of self-destruction. Music, you didn't have to lift a finger. You just had to stay still and let the energy they sent out come home to roost. That's the law of the universe. You can't bury someone who was planted for a purpose. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one. Someone digging a hole in the ground, laughing as they whisper your name under their breath. Convinced music, they're winning. They keep digging, throwing dirt behind them. Deeper music, and deeper, until one day they look up and realize they've made a pit too deep to climb out of. Music, that's what happened. They built their own downfall, thinking it was your grave. The same lies they spread, music, became the proof of their deceit. The same stories they twisted ended up showing the world who they really were. And you, music, you didn't need to react, argue, or defend yourself. You just kept standing tall while their falsehoods collapsed under their own weight. Music, see. That's the beauty of staying aligned with truth. It requires no defense. The universe has a funny way of balancing things. It doesn't need you to get revenge. It lets exposure do the talking. Their gossip became their confession. Their jealousy became their evidence. Their obsession with trying to destroy you turned into the mirror that revealed their darkness. They made you the villain. But in the end, every eye turned to see that you were the one holding integrity while they were drowning in hypocrisy. And maybe you've wondered, why didn't the universe stop them sooner? Why did I have to go through that? Because, chosen one, the universe was using their cruelty as a stage for your evolution. You needed to see who was fake. You needed to see who would sell your name for attention. You needed to witness what envy looks like when it smiles to your face. Every betrayal revealed a truth you couldn't have learned any other way, and every truth gave you more power than their lies ever could. Now look at them. The ones who thought they could play you are being haunted by their own games. Their relationships are falling apart. Their reputations are crumbling. Their fake smiles are cracking. They can't understand how you're still standing while everything around them is collapsing. But you do. You understand that karma doesn't need your participation. Music just needs time. You stood still long enough for the universe to turn the wheel. And now it's spinning music in your favor. And the best part, you came out cleaner, music, stronger, wiser. Their attempts to humiliate you purified you. Their attempts to expose you only made your truth undeniable. The energy they used against you became your elevation fuel. You are living proof that no one can curse what the universe has chosen to bless. Every rumor was a ladder. Every music insult was a brick. And you built your castle with everything they threw at you. So don't even bother looking back. Chosen one, let them sit in the chaos they created. They're learning a painful truth when you aim hatred at someone protected by purpose. That hate rebounds tenfold. You don't need revenge when the universe plays chess on your behalf. The trap was never for you, it was for them. They, music, just didn't realize it until it snapped shut. Number 6. You let them talk because silence is your loudest weapon. Let the fools make noise. Silence always wins the argument. That's been your quiet philosophy, chosen one. You've learned that real power doesn't respond. It observes. You don't waste breath trying to explain truth to people committed to misunderstanding you. You let them talk, music, laugh, and spread stories because you already know how this ends. When the dust settles, only one voice remains believable. And it's never the one that screamed the loudest. It's the one that stayed calm, confident, and unshaken. Music, that's you. You didn't need to defend yourself. You let the universe handle your defense in ways no explanation ever music could. Now imagine this chosen one, a courtroom where everyone's shouting, accusing, performing. The air is full of noise. But then the truth walks in silent, music undeniable, glowing with facts, and the entire room goes still. That's exactly what happens every time you choose silence over reaction. Your calmness carries authority. You don't need to prove anything because the truth naturally gravitates toward those who wait for it. And that's why your enemies hate you. They can't stand that you don't play their game. They wanted chaos. You gave them composure. They wanted drama. You gave them distance. They wanted to feed off your reaction, but you starved them with silence. Here's the part that makes your silence so lethal. It exposes people without you ever saying a word. The more they talk, the more contradictions they reveal. The more they gossip, the guiltier they look. The more they try to drag your name, the higher they lift your reputation. Because the universe has a law, it doesn't let lies live long. They rot under the weight of truth. Music and your quiet patience becomes the knife that cuts their narratives apart. Music, maybe you've asked yourself, why should I stay silent when I could clear my name? Because chosen one, truth doesn't rush, it arrives on its own time. And when it does, it shatters music, everything false. If you defended yourself too early, you would have interrupted your vindication. You're not meant to argue, you're meant to outlast. And the universe has been watching how you carried yourself under attack. It's preparing to return the energy tenfold, not through vengeance, but through exposure. Look back now, the same people who once laughed are avoiding eye contact. The same mouths that gossiped now whisper apologies in private. That's what silence does. It doesn't fight the storm, it outlives it. When you refuse to engage, their noise burns out. When you remain calm, their lies collapse under their own weight. That's why your silence screams louder than their accusations ever could. And you've noticed it, haven't you? The crowd that once sided with them is starting to see. People are finally connecting the dots and realizing you were never the villain. They simply couldn't hear your truth through all the noise. Now the noise has faded, and your silence is speaking louder than their lies ever could. Chosen one, while they were busy talking, you were building. They laughed because they couldn't see what was happening behind the scenes. But every quiet day, every sacrifice, every moment of doubt was shaping something powerful. Like a sculptor working behind closed doors, you kept refining your craft until the masterpiece could no longer be hidden. Something massive is shifting. The skills, discipline, wisdom, and purpose you've developed in private are preparing to become visible. You won't need to announce your arrival. Your results will speak for you. The same people who ignored you will study your process. Those who doubted you will wonder how you did it. They thought your silence meant weakness, but it was strategy. Your patience was preparation. Your consistency was power, and now the mask is falling. Some people copied your ideas, borrowed your energy, and tried to build their identity from your originality. But imitation can never replace authenticity. You never needed to expose them. Time has a way of revealing what people tried to hide. People are beginning to see who was genuine and who was performing. Your authenticity doesn't need defending. The truth only needed time. Now comes the final lesson. The mastermind doesn't react to every move. They observe, calculate, and wait for the right moment. While others chase short-term victories, you are building something that lasts. You learned that revenge wastes energy, but results command respect. You learned that silence protects your power, and that endurance creates greatness. Look back at everything you've survived. The betrayals, delays, losses, and disappointments weren't the end of your story. They were shaping you for this moment. You were never behind. You were building. You were never losing. You were learning. And now your quiet preparation is becoming visible. So stand tall, chosen one. Walk forward with the confidence of someone who knows their purpose. Let them talk. Let them watch. Let them wonder. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. Your results will speak. Your authenticity will remain. And your victory will be impossible to ignore. This is your winning era.